What if one man could change the course of history with just a handful of simple ideas? Socrates, the philosopher who left no writings, shaped Western thought more than anyone could have imagined. His legacy, timeless wisdom that still echoes through our lives today. But what made this ancient thinker so extraordinary? Socrates wasn't your typical philosopher. Born in Athens in 470 BCE, he didn't fit the mold of the intellectual elite. In fact, he didn't even consider himself an intellectual. Instead of writing down his thoughts like other philosophers, Socrates chose to engage in open public dialogues. He spent his days walking the streets of Athens, questioning anyone willing to listen. What was his goal? To seek the truth, not to lecture, but to uncover knowledge through conversation. His life was a testament to one thing: wisdom isn't about knowledge, it's about questioning everything you know. Enter the Socratic method, a revolutionary way of thinking. Rather than giving answers, Socrates asked questions, deep, uncomfortable questions that challenged people's assumptions and beliefs. This method didn't just make people think, it forced them to rethink everything they thought they knew. Imagine how it felt to be in a conversation with Socrates. Every answer you gave led to more questions, and every belief you held was thrown into doubt. That's what made his approach so powerful. And while it might have made some uncomfortable, it's why the Socratic method is still used in modern law, education, and self-exploration. Socrates' most famous advice: know thyself. What did he mean by that? It's about self-awareness. Socrates believed that true wisdom comes not from learning facts but from understanding your own limitations. It's easy to think we have all the answers, but Socrates pushed us to ask, what don't we know? The most intelligent people, he argued, are those who admit they don't have all the answers. By knowing ourselves, our strengths, weaknesses, and biases, we can begin the real journey to wisdom. Socrates didn't just teach us how to think, he taught us how to live. He believed that moral virtue, not wealth or power, was the key to happiness. While many people around him were obsessed with material gains, Socrates argued that living a virtuous life, focused on justice, courage, and wisdom, was the path to true fulfillment. For Socrates, happiness didn't come from what you had, but from who you were. This was a revolutionary concept, obsessed with status and riches. But Socrates' ideas didn't sit well with everyone. In 399 BCE, he was put on trial for corrupting the youth and impiety, accusations that were, to say the least, pretty harsh. Instead of defending himself in a way that would save his life, Socrates stood firm in his beliefs. His conviction? That questioning and challenging the status quo was the duty of every citizen. Socrates didn't beg for mercy. He chose to face death rather than compromise his principles. His last words? The unexamined life is not worth living. He left a legacy that would forever change how we view truth and integrity. So, what did we learn from Socrates? His ideas didn't die with him. In fact, they've influenced nearly every field of human thought, from ethics to law, psychology to politics. Today we continue to ask questions, seek truth, and challenge the status quo, just as Socrates taught us. His legacy is a reminder that wisdom is not about knowing all the answers, but about asking the right questions. And even today, his wisdom is a powerful tool for personal growth and understanding. Socrates showed us that the pursuit of truth and wisdom is a lifelong journey. He didn't promise easy answers or fame, he only offered one thing: a chance to think differently, to challenge ourselves, and to seek deeper understanding. So, the real question is, what would you sacrifice for your beliefs? Are you truly seeking wisdom or just accepting what's handed to you? The answers are out there, if you're brave enough to ask.